In the year 2000, a gang in London planned to steal a fortune in diamonds worth around £350 million. It would have been the biggest robbery in history. Their plan was bold and brutal. Smash into a famous building with a digger, grab the gems, and escape across the river by speedboat. There was only one problem. The police already knew everything, and they were waiting. This is the Millennium Dome Diamond Raid. Welcome to Curio Hour, where we uncover the strange, the unsolved, and the unforgettable. Today's story: the Millennium Dome Diamond Raid. Our story takes place in London in November of the year 2000 on the banks of the River Thames. There stood the Millennium Dome, a vast, futuristic structure built to celebrate the year 2000. It was one of the largest structures of its kind in the world. Inside, the dome housed a series of exhibitions, and one of them was the most dazzling display of diamonds ever assembled in one place. The exhibition was sponsored by the famous diamond company De Beers, and it showcased some of the most extraordinary gems in the world. At the very center of the collection was the crown jewel, a flawless pear-shaped diamond of immense size and perfect clarity, known as the Millennium Star. The Millennium Star was one of the most perfect diamonds ever found, worth a fortune on its own. Around it sat a dozen rare blue diamonds of staggering value. Together, the gems in the display were valued at around £350 million. It was a target almost beyond imagining. If anyone could steal them, it would instantly become the largest robbery in the history of the world, dwarfing every famous heist that had come before. The temptation was simply too great to ignore. Such a prize did not go unnoticed by the criminal underworld, and one gang of experienced, hardened robbers decided they would take it. The gang were veteran armed robbers from South London, men who had pulled off serious crimes before. They were not amateurs, and they thought big. They studied the dome and the diamond exhibition carefully. They worked out the layout, the security, and the display case that held the precious gems. The diamonds were kept behind a special glass case, designed to be extremely tough. But the gang believed that with the right tools, even that could be beaten quickly. Their plan came to depend on speed and shock. They would not sneak in quietly. They would smash their way in with overwhelming force, grab the diamonds, and be gone in minutes. The centerpiece of their plan was a heavy machine. They would use a digger and excavator to crash straight through the wall of the dome. The digger would smash through the perimeter fence in the side of the structure, drive right up to the diamond vault, and serve as their battering ram. Once inside, they would use powerful tools to break open the case, smash and grab the diamonds, and make a daring escape across the Thames. The escape was a key part of the plan. They had a speedboat waiting on the river beside the dome, ready to whisk them away faster than any car could follow. To cover their tracks and create chaos, they planned to use smoke bombs and other distractions, turning the scene into confusion while they made off with the gems. On paper, it was a spectacular plan. Bold, fast, and dramatic. If it worked, it would be the largest robbery the world had ever seen. The gang would smash in, grab a fortune, and vanish down the river before anyone could so much as raise the alarm. Speed and shock were everything. The gang assembled their equipment. The digger, the speedboat, the tools, the smoke bombs. They scouted the area and prepared for the raid. They even made earlier visits to the dome, observing the exhibition and testing the waters, getting a feel for the place and its routines. But this is where the gang's grand plan ran into something they did not expect. Their preparations had not gone unnoticed. Unknown to the robbers, the police had received intelligence about the plot, and they had begun watching the gang for weeks before the raid. This was the work of the Flying Squad, an elite unit of the London police that specialized in tackling armed robbery. They were experts at exactly this kind of crime. The Flying Squad watched the gang's every move. They saw the reconnaissance trips, the preparations, the gathering of equipment. They knew the raid was coming. And so the police set a trap. An elaborate, carefully prepared ambush designed to catch the robbers in the act with overwhelming force. Police officers were secretly placed inside and around the dome. Some were disguised as cleaners and ordinary staff, hidden among the exhibits, waiting. Dozens of officers, many of them armed, were concealed in and around the building, ready to spring the moment the gang made their move. And in a stroke of clever planning, the police had taken one more precaution. They had quietly replaced the real diamonds with fakes. The priceless gems, including the Millennium Star, had been secretly swapped for convincing crystal replicas. Whatever happened, the real treasure was safe. The stage was set. The gang thought they were about to pull off the heist of the century. In truth, they were walking straight into a trap. On the morning of the 7th of November, 2000, the gang made their move. The digger roared to life and smashed through the perimeter into the dome. The heavy machine crashed through fences and into the structure, driving toward the diamond vault. The raid was underway. The robbers, wearing body armor and gas masks, leapt off the digger. They threw smoke bombs to create cover and rushed toward the diamond display. They reached the case holding the gems and set to work, using a nail gun and powerful tools to smash through the reinforced glass toward the diamonds. For a few seconds, it seemed to be working. They were moments away from grabbing what they believed were the most valuable diamonds in the world. And that is the exact moment the police chose to strike. The trap was sprung. The hidden officers revealed themselves all at once. The cleaners and staff who had been quietly going about their work were, in fact, armed police. Officers swarmed in from every direction, shouting commands, weapons drawn. The gang was caught completely by surprise, surrounded with no way out. It was over in moments. The robbers, who had expected to be racing away on a speedboat with a fortune, were instead thrown to the ground and arrested on the spot. The getaway boat driver waiting on the river was also arrested. The escape route, like everything else, had been anticipated and covered. The entire gang was rounded up. Not one of them escaped. The biggest robbery in history had been stopped at the very last second. And of course, even if they had grabbed the diamonds, they would have gotten away with nothing but worthless crystal. The real gems had never been in danger. The police operation was hailed as a triumph. It was one of the most successful ambushes in the history of British policing, planned to perfection. Officers had spent weeks rehearsing, hidden in plain sight, never knowing the exact day the gang would strike. When the moment finally came, they were ready, and not a single robber slipped through. The robbers were put on trial, and the leading members of the gang were convicted and sentenced to long terms in prison for their part in the audacious plot. They had come within seconds of pulling off the unthinkable. But they had been outsmarted at every turn by police who had simply known too much, too soon. The Millennium Star and the other diamonds, perfectly safe throughout, were later put back on display, their brush with disaster only adding to their legend. The Millennium Dome diamond raid is remembered not as a great heist, but as a great catch. The robbery that was watched before it ever began. A bold gang, a priceless prize, and a digger through the wall. All of it undone by a trap they never saw coming. The Millennium Dome diamond raid.